we had a very big issue. The centre mid position was vacant and we needed somebody to fill it. And so it has now been filled by Tonali. And today we're going to be finding out if this card is worth the 600k I spent and if he's wondrous, mid, or dude. And by the end of this video, you'll learn the best ways to use this card if you do decide to buy it. But why should you listen to me? Well, I consistently get rank 2 to rank 3 rage in FUT champions. I'm also an elite division player, so I believe I can use my ability to help guide you to understand which cards to use and the best cards to help perform the best. But before moving forward, if you need FUT coins to afford more expensive cards, be sure to use code TV3 on Use of Buy for 6% off. Link in the description or link in the comment for cheap and safe coins. And now I'm going to be talking about very important things with this card that you have to understand, and that is not only the dribbling ability but also the passing ability, which we'll get to in a sec, because if you miss out on those type of information, it could either make you want to get the card or not want to get the card. So stay tuned for that. Just make sure you pay attention, because some of these stuff can really make you not want the card or absolutely want the card. So starting off with the play, for me, using this card, best way I can describe it is speed. For a midfielder, he has pretty good pace, running up and down like a crazy person. Even though he doesn't have any of the play styles to make his pace even crazier, like quick stuff or rapido, he does have Bawona. You can have the pace and be able to get to the player, but do you have the defense to be able to actually win the ball and move forward in the pitch to give you other attacking opportunities or defensive stop? Now for me, using Tonali, I found his defense was not anything out of super surprising, but if you were to get interception, it would not be a bad thing for this guy because of the play styles. There were times that he would get interceptions and it would stop right on his foot. But don't forget, this is the worst FIFA in history, so there will be a lot of times where it's still ping pong FC and it bounces off of him and goes to your opponent, and when you win the ball off tackles, it still jams everywhere and they keep the ball. But for the most part, his tackling was actually pretty solid. But then again, he could win the ball on defense and be an absolute puss in boot, and I found that when he got near super strong players, he was actually able to hold his own. This is what you wanted to call like a gullet gang, a player that can do almost everything well on the pitch. And I found for this section of his ability, the physicality, Tonali had pretty good strength, pretty good jumping ability, and didn't get too tired during the game. I felt like those stats actually played out for what it said. Now dribbling ability is very important for a midfield that I'll get to in just a second, but before we get to that one, we still have to talk about the shooting and clinicality ability. Now look at here, we can't forget this is a broken product, unfinished video. So if you hit the trivelas like I'm watching the telenovela fly into the back of the net in a certain angle and you green time it, Tonali will put that in the back of the net. Most players can, even with 47 shooting and a half, it's going in. But if you just want to get regular shots in the box, green time, it's not going to be 100%. It's not always going to go in. The goalkeeper might turn into Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a mother spider can and save the ball. But his finishing isn't complete garbage. He still has the ability, but I'm not going to say it's top tier. So if you're looking for your midfielder to always score goals for you a lot, he's not going to be the best. He might sell you sometimes. But now that dribbling ability, don't forget about the passing, very important for a midfielder in this. But for the dribbling ability, can he do a little bit of that twist and turn? I found that Tonali, for some reason, even though he's 5'11", he has this weird category of kind of being a biggity for that height. He wasn't really doing that twist and turn the best that I wanted him to, because his balance and agilate is like in the mid-range. It's not high, but it's not low. So I do suggest for a chem style to put in like an engine or chemistry style that puts up his balance and agilate to make him twist and turn much faster so he can get off the passes, which does bring me to the passing. But before that, let me just say his dribbling isn't the best, but it's not complete garbage, but just boosted a little bit. Now his passing ability, he has all the beautiful play styles to make it wondrous, but does it actually play out that way? For me, using Tonali, that incisive pass was lovely to see. I found some players, you don't even notice their abilities until they're gone. And when I was using him, I found we did have some good attacking opportunities from his ability on the ball, being able to pass it and not mess up as much as other players, because passing is the worst thing I've ever come across in any football. Disgusting in this. And he also has long ball, so he can do the over the top with precision, getting into Heineke Williams or whatever striker you have to do them power shots, finessey like Messi or Trivela. You get. But all that being said, was this card even worth that 600k? Because there could be cards better than him for cheaper price, or cards that play to the level for a cheaper price. Now, I ain't gonna lie, using Tonali, I found that he was actually a pretty good card, but is he wondrous, mid, or dude? Now I found using Tonali, he helped me in certain ways, but I'm actually gonna have to put him in midress, because he did a lot of things well, but he didn't do something substantially crazy well that would make me put him in that category. He's still a good card to pick up, but for that price of 600k, okay, I think I've used other players that helped me for a cheaper price. I think he's just that expensive because of the league and the nation. But if you got the coins, pick him up if you want. But a card that you might be able to get right here that could be wondrous, mid, or doo-doo is right here. Find out if this card is wondrous, mid, or doo-doo. Yeah.